Good evening, stage left family and friends. I'm going to put down my hammer and my saw and I'm going to pick up my cooking utensils. Everybody's had great recipes, Jodine, Jacob, it's all. I'm going to do something sweet and tasty because, I like sugar. We're going to bake Shell's famous cake. This is her family recipe that has been in her family for years. It's a banana cake. So let's get started. First of all, here's all my ingredients somewhat. We'll post the recipe. Matter of fact, here is the recipe real quick. And Shell's pointing her finger at me, telling me to wait. And since I am very good at listening, I will do that. So there's the recipe. And we'll post the ingredients again. So real quick, we're going to start by combining our sugar and butter. We'll cut it up. So how we're going to start this, we're going to put a half cup of butter and we're going to add 1.5 cups of sugar into there. Put it in there, put your mixer on, turn it on low, and have fun. You're going to have 3 eggs. Start with 3 eggs. You have to separate the yellows from the yolk, and you're going to separate those because you're going to use the egg whites later. So once that mixes all up, we're going to sit there and get that mixed up real good. So it's fairly well mixed there. So then what you're going to do is you're going to add the egg yolks. So we got 3 egg yolks. Dump them in there. Toss that in the kitchen sink. And then while that's mixing, next you're going to take 1 cup of crushed bananas, chop them up, mix them up, preferably older bananas. And then what I always do is just a little bit over a cup. You're supposed to use a cup. I use about 1.25 cups. Then what you do is you finish off. So you want to have a total of 2 cups of mixture. So you top it off with milk. So you have 2 cups total. Stir it together. Okay, shut my mix up there. So stir that all together. Then in your mixture there, you're going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder to this mix. So we grab some baking powder, grab a teaspoon, dump it in there, watch it start foaming. That's really cool. And then we dump that into our mix there. Turn the mixer on low. While that's mixing, we take 2 cups of flour and add baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking soda to the flour. What I always do is just kind of chop it, mix it in there a little bit. You can do whatever you want. I just find it works better for that. Dump the rest of my mixture in there. Okay. Now, it says add a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay. So I always just kind of, that's close enough to a teaspoon. Okay, so we've got our flour in that mix with the vanilla. We're going to add that into our mix. A little bit of time here. Okay, now while that's mixing, what you do, now you take your egg whites. So we're going to whip the egg whites so they're nice and fluffy and thick. So let me go ahead and get that and I'll get right back when they're ready. So, what you want to do is whip your egg whites. So they got a nice peak, and look at that. That's perfect. So what you do is you add that to your mix. Okay, and there's the oven. You want to set your oven to 350. And we should be ready here. And as soon as that mixes in there, you want to take a 13 by 9 cake pan. Do not grease it, just plain. And we got a nice consistency there on the batter. Oh, my spatula. So after we get this ready to bake, we will bake it at 350 for about 36 minutes. And next we're going to show you the icing on it. It's homemade icing. Now we're going to do the homemade icing. It takes a half cup of butter and a half cup of Crisco. I always like to use real butter on both recipes. You can use margarine, but I think real butter tastes better. And I use butter flavored Crisco. First you start out with 3/4 cup of milk, 2 tablespoons of flour. You heat it up very slowly, mix it till it comes into a paste, and then you wait till it gradually cools down into a paste. First you want to do is you want to mix a half cup of sugar with a half cup of Crisco and a half cup of butter. So we'll go ahead and get that mixing and get that good mixed up before you sit there and put the paste in. Okay, so now we're going to add our paste mixture in there. Like I said, that's just 2 tablespoons of flour and 3/4 cup of milk, and then you just cook it very gently. Okay, so then as that's all mixing, you mix it up really good, and you add a teaspoon of vanilla. Oops. Sometimes I go a little less with the vanilla, but that's okay. So you let that. The secret on this is you mix this up, and then just, it doesn't hurt to overbeat it. You cannot overbeat the icing on this. When you're done, right before you finish, you add 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar, and then you bake the cake. Wait till the cake comes out, and when it cools down, you frost it. We'll be back when the finished product's done. Okay, so we let the icing whip for about 8 to 12 minutes, so you want it really whipped good. That way there's no sugar left in it. Pull the cake out, which the cake's done. Let it cool, which it has, so we're going to ice it now. Throw the icing on. Whoops. And it doesn't hurt to whip the icing, so it's really fluffy. Lay it out there. And it is finished, and bon appetit. See you next time. Bye.